Hello everyone, my name is Vladimir and I'm the co-founder and the lead architect at Makani Design. So first of all, I would like to tell you a couple of words about Makani. We have experience of 8 years, mainly in the field of interior design. During this period, we had an opportunity to work with the different types of projects, starting from a small-scale residential and up to high-budget commercial ones. We do work on a lot of international projects, and we are proud to have clients from 10 different countries. And at this point, to be able to be closer to our clients, we have 3 offices. The main one is here in Moldova, in Chisinau. Second one is St. Petersburg, Russia. And the third one is Cluj-Napoca, Romania. Even though having a lot of projects, different projects, we always have some special feelings for designing office spaces. It's a sort of a project where you can unleash your creativity. But it's not a secret that coronavirus has turned everything upside down. And for sure, offices will need to change. Now, the main question is what steps should we take now in order to get back to work, to our places? Today, I would like to share with you some thoughts regarding the future of office design and how coronavirus will actually change our habits. And I would like to show you one of our latest projects that was finished just before the pandemic started. This is an office space for a world-known company, Parkopedia. Parkopedia is a service that provides smart parking solutions all over the world. The office has an area of around 1,000 square meters, and it can accommodate up to 120 working places. And it's an excellent example of a modern open space office. It's a dynamic, it's open, it's fresh, it creates better relationships, and it's good for working in teams. And we all do love open spaces. Actually, the concept that breaks down the walls in today's working spaces is not new. The original idea behind that was dated back in 1950 by a team in Hamburg. So the guys over there thought that this would ease communication between employees. And today we have more than 70% of all working areas adopted this trend. So this actually works. The main idea behind the design concept was to create an imitation of a parking space, with some kind of arrows on the floor, path directions, steel constructions, and parking spots as working places. So everything that will give you a feel of being in a parking garage. And we have everything a modern office should have: a nice large working area, transformable meeting rooms, playroom, big kitchen space. So a place where work-life balance are not just words. One of main challenges for us was to accommodate more than 100 people in one place and at the same time to use minimum space. And we made some kind of an amphitheater, since once in a couple of weeks guys have to meet together for a general meeting. And they have offices in a couple of in a different cities, and it's a video conferencing. And these stairs found its place right in the middle of the office. So first of all, it will divide the space. It has a couple of roles. So one is dividing the space, so we will not have so seamless space of desks. Second, it was planned to be a point of attraction, place for some talk and collaboration. And the third, we have a hidden full-size meeting room just behind the stairs. So it's a very, I would say, young office having a huge potential. But actually, over the last 5 years, there's been a push for the open plan model to densify. That's where we're seeing a problem. So some places were designed without the additional open areas, meeting spaces or the high ratio of the meeting space to head count. They were not well designed, actually. But how this state will change in the following years? We are sure that coronavirus will not kill the concept of an open office, but you should definitely expect it to change. And so the changes will begin just from the entrance. Let's think. So what are you expecting when you are visiting somebody's office? Mostly probable you will enter a nice lobby with a person at the desk who is greeting you and making you feel comfortable with a cup of coffee while you are waiting. It will be different now, since safety will become more important than comfort. Many offices have spaces full of lockers, storages, and even showers. But these have been facing side doors and rear entrances. Now, these spaces might face everyone who visits an office. They might even be a place to run health screening for anyone who comes into the building. So actually, if we let someone in the building, they might infect people. So we have to have better checkpoints to screen employees and visitors, and why not to check their temperature. As from the employer side, this will be a place you come in, change your shoes, wash your hands, and only after that you head to the shared place. Second issue is the privacy. So for years, the amount of privacy allocated to each person working in an office had been decreasing as companies have been trying to do more with the less space. That means packing more people into open office space, a practice known as densification. That's a problem when at the same time the Centers for the Disease Control are suggesting to have at least 2 meters of space between people. So how can we change that? First of all, this could mean more private space or personal offices for individuals and more distance between desks. Rather than desks setups that face each other or right next to each other, we might now be positioned to our colleagues' backs with more space between us. Let's take Porcopedia model. Here we have a standard layout for one team. 12 persons. So if we try to check what the real privacy area is, then we will end up with a border violation. This could also mean that we need to somehow separate them. So we will divide them in different rows, and by turning each second person, we will now be able to adjust the safety area, and now we will have more than 2 meters between them. Also, we can introduce some various types of barriers between desks in order to block the passage of germs. This will kind of be a problem in case of standing desks, but that's what we have. And additional concepts can include removing chairs or even monitors to discourage unoccupied workstations use. According to experts, companies will try introducing shifts and allowing about 30% of employees to work from home by rotation. This will definitely ensure lower occupancy and offices in offices and more space for all. For example, Facebook has announced that people will return to the office in waves. Other companies will likely take the same approach. One truth about the open space office is that it has gotten a bit less open over time, simply because we've started packing a lot more people in. As an option, another thing we can do is to create some sort of islands with green borders on the edge to separate different groups of people. This will give us some additional privacy and will improve air quality. Another space that needs attention is the meeting room. But in this case, it will definitely go digital, and we will not see crowded rooms anymore. So it's quite simple. But in opposite, we have kitchen. As mass gatherings are prohibited, we need to rethink kitchen areas. Kitchen was always a place for chatting, hanging around, and spending some free time. This place is designed to operate with a high capacity to feed most or all of the employees with a very tight window of time. So we will have to secure this area, and an option will be introducing some kind of buffer zones where you can disinfect your hands. Also, we need to reduce number of seats and the amount of time spent for taking a meal so that we will not have overcrowded places. Another thing that we think is important is introducing, as we call it, smart office system. So companies may also need to invest in a new suite of contactless technologies to reduce disease transmissions. When we will return to our physical workplaces, we need to rethink how we introduce interfaces that aren't just frictionless, but also touchless, and shift control of the workplace's environment to each person's smart devices. This may not have the cutting-edge appeal of the technologies, but it will definitely greatly reduce the chance that a virus can spread via touch. Let's just assume, so office doors open automatically using motion sensors and facial recognitions, or speech recognition actions can replace buttons in an elevator. Imagine that the buildings will be designed around the idea of contactless interactions, meaning employees will rarely have to touch a surface with their hands to navigate through the building. The blinds, the lighting, ventilation, and even ordering a coffee will be controlled from your phone. With around 80% of infectious diseases transmitted by touching contaminated surfaces, this hands-free future could well catch on. Another example are the voice assistants like Siri, Google Alexa have transformed the way we think about virtual assistants and their ability to handle daily tasks for us. The potential is huge. Unlock the office for me, order my usual lunch, or set up a meeting. So these are the things it can do. The ability to scale this solution over time is huge. As your company grows and invests more in this technology, the assistant can also grow in their capabilities to accomplish advanced functions like checking multiple people's calendars and adjusting the meetings. These are only a few examples of the automation we can make, but the main idea behind that is to go hands-free as much as possible. Another thing we should take into consideration are the engineering systems. So heating and ventilation systems will have to be checked in order to allow more fresh air flow and air filtration. Those systems are usually neglected, especially in old buildings, but they are really important for the health. Also, we need to have a strategy. First of all, we need to trap the pathogen by upgrading the filtering system. Second, kill it. One of the most common disinfectant systems for HVAC is to use UV light. It kills the viruses directly in the ductwork. And the third, flush the pathogen. It will just increase the amount of the air by opening windows and adjusting the system. Next one is the housekeeping and cleaning. At this point, we have to actually reinvent the whole cleaning strategy. First of all, we need to create some touchless hand sanitizers and disinfectant wipes spots all around the office. Another thing is UV phone sanitizing stations, which use UV light to clean phones, since our phones have more bacteria than the common public spaces. This would be another strategy to build employee confidence when they get back to work. These spots will become like exit signs, and employers can see them from every point of the office, so he can access it easily. Also, just increase during the day housekeeping, maintaining a visible presence so employers see the effort of the organization to keep them healthy and safe. From our side, we need to find new cleaning solutions, like the electrostatic cleaning. This option involves spraying electronically, charging mist onto the surface of objects. These positively charged particles in the spray cling to and coat any surface for the disinfecting agent to sanitize. While not an inexpensive option, this method offers a strong defense and protective measure to give employees the assurance that they will demand. We need to invent new materials like nanoseptic, door handle and door push skins to provide continuously self-cleaning surfaces by using mineral nanocrystals to create an oxidation reaction. Other nanoseptic products may include everything from desk counter mats and mouse pads. And next thing, we need to design new furniture. So with smart storage systems in order to keep our desks clean all the time. There are definitely many more things we will need to change in the following years in order to overcome this situation, and mostly probable many of these solutions will not work on a daily basis. But for sure in the nearest future we will see a big change, mainly in the way we use our working places. And all we have to do now is just to be ready to accept those challenges. Stay healthy and remember that design will definitely save the world. Thank you.